Hey guys, it's B Taylor TV and welcome to my channel. And today we are going to analyze a lot of these audios that is being dropped by Neek at Night. What the jury actually heard in court that proved that Tory Lanes was guilty. Okay. Before we get into things, I do want to address this gender war that's going on between black men and black women. I find it really disgusting how many men wanted Megan to be guilty just to prove a point that women are liars, women are, unbelievable, that they self-sabotage, that it was all Megan's fault. They just wanted a reason to hate another black woman and to prove that, she is not a victim because she is promiscuous and, she talks about, being sexual and whatever else. These men had a point to prove, and it enraged them when they found out that Tory Lanes was guilty. And he was guilty based off of this evidence that we are about to hear today. I even got attacked online when the conviction came down that he was guilty by another black man who, you made a post for other black men and, certain women to talk mess about me. It was kind of silly, but I'm at a point in my life where I'm just going to block people out of my life. If you're not important, if you don't serve any purpose in my life, you're being blocked. Point blank and simple. So I was attacked because I was happy that this man was found guilty for shooting a woman. And for some reason, they refused to believe black women, even calling them terrorists, especially in this manosphere. They're so obsessed with hating black women, they're blurred from seeing the truth. They're so messed up and, traumatized from their own wrongdoings in their life. They put that reflection on this case. Like, oh, I remember a time a woman lied on me. Did she? Did she lie on you? Or was your perception of that situation misconstrued because you thought you were doing something one way and you made her feel uncomfortable, but it's somehow her fault? You know what that's called? That's called lack of accountability, which is something a lot of men in our community lack, okay? Lack of accountability. I think even in general in our community, we just lack accountability. It's something that's hard for us to swallow, especially the men, So they tried to guilt you, right? And say, well, Tory Lanez is being taken away from his son. Okay. There's many people that are in jail that commit crimes who are parents. That doesn't mean, because he has a kid, he should be let off from shooting another woman. It doesn't matter. And no one told him to bring his son to court. Shame on the parents, Tory, and the mother for thinking that, maybe she just thought, hey, he wants sympathy, but I would try to protect my child at all costs. I am not going to bring my child to this verdict just so they can be traumatized for the rest of their life. You know what I think that is? As a parent, I think it's selfish. I think it's very selfish because if I committed a crime, I'm going to have to do the time. And I'm not going to submit my children to watch me go down, okay? I'm going to protect them at all costs from seeing that because that should not be embedded in their memory of mommy being convicted of a crime that she did, okay? So if sympathy is what you're looking for, I'm not. You know what I sympathize for? The victim. Although it's sad, I feel sympathy for the child, but I'm not going to feel sympathy for him serving and doing time for something that he did, okay? And also, ladies, take a look at the men around you and analyze if they are taking Tory Lane's side and what are they saying? Because they may be abusive. They may lack accountability or secretly hate black women. So I think that, you should take a good look around your circle and see what the men are saying. Instead of joining in and going on this witch hunt, because that's what it is a witch hunt. Instead of joining in, think for your own self, okay? Stand out from the crowd and think from the rest of the men around you and really see how they really feel about women in general, because there's a lot of misogyny that's going on and they don't want to call it out for what it is. They want to say that it's the truth. Okay, that's your opinion, but it's still misogynistic. And I think a lot of them need to look up the definition, but you know, a lot of them don't want to because it wouldn't help prove their points. Okay, moving on. So Nika Knight dropped some tea because she was actually in the courtroom when all of this was going on. They had a gun expert come into the courtroom, and he testified that the type of gun that went off could not go off during a struggle because you needed about 8.5 pounds of pressure to be applied to the gun for it to go off. 8.5 pounds, okay, of pressure, okay, for it to shoot. And the shooting was back to back. There was no, if there was actually a struggle, then there would be shots fired and you would hear like a gap in between the shots. But you did not hear a gap in between the shots. It was just pop, 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 pop. Okay? They were back to back. And I'm actually going to play the audio for you guys. Shout out to Nika Knight once again. I'm going to play the audio. Okay, that is the audio of the gunshots going off. So for them to think that, oh, nope, Kelsey, it was a struggle. Kelsey did it. Tory Lanes didn't do it. He grabbed the gun from her. No, that was not the case. That was not the case. You can hear it in the gunshots. The jury heard that. They're not idiots, okay? They don't have a biasness in it. But I also want to address this cry. You know, for you to see the actual visuals of it, I would recommend going to Nika Knight's page. I'm just going to play the audio out of respect for her. But Megan was inside crying in the ambulance. And let me tell you something about this cry, but I'm going to play the cry audio. And I know what type of cry that is, you know. So here is the cry. Okay, that was Megan crying, right? Let me tell you, that cry sounded like disappointment. It sounded like, how did I get here? It sounded like betrayal. It sounded like pain, hurt, scared, fear, all of above. Okay, that's what that cry sounded like. It sounded like a woman who was betrayed by a man, and we all felt that cry before, ladies, right? A man who went out his way to befriend her and get close to her and even have intimate relationships with her. And now this man has betrayed her and, shot her, and she is probably in disbelief. Like, I'm supposed to be a superstar. I'm supposed to be on my way up. And here I am in this this ambulance going to the hospital, injured, hurt, and she's scared. And you know what? She don't have a mother to call. She doesn't have a mother to call. Imagine being shot. And you think of the closest person around you. Think of the closest person that you call when you're in trouble. She didn't have that. Like the one person you would call for help for, that you would just call and vent out and this. You have your friends, but there's nothing like calling a parent who's known you since you were in diapers, this woman had a very close relationship with her mother. I know how that probably feels. She doesn't have her mom. Think about that. This woman has just been shot and injured by people that she tried to surround herself by, because she was alone. She didn't have her support anymore. So she tried to look for more support, only for that support and people that was around her to betray her. That's what that cry was. And if you don't feel anything by that, you need to take a deep look into yourself. I also want to address Tory Lanes fans before I play this audio of Tory Lanes apologizing. And it wasn't no, oh, I'm sorry, Kelsey, that I betrayed you. I'm sorry that I was playing y'all. He specifically said I was drunk, okay? So we're going to go ahead and play that audio of Tory Lanes apologizing to Kelsey about Megan. Okay? He apologized to Kelsey about Megan. So I'm going to go ahead and play that.
This is a free call from
Tory?
an inmate at LAPD jail. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. Press 1 to accept the call. To deny this call, thank you for using Terminate.
Hello?
Yeah.
Y'all got out safe,
Nick at Night exclusive.
Huh?
Y'all got out and everything y'all good?
Megan's still in the hospital. I'm outside the hospital.
What hospital y'all at?
Robert.
You said what?
I said Megan's in the hospital still. I'm outside the hospital waiting.
Nick at Night
What hospital you
exclusive.
I don't know. Let me see. Peter, something like that. Peter.
Bro. Regardless, I know she
Nick
probably
at
never
Night
ever gonna talk to me
exclusive.
ever again, but bruh, I just want you to know, bruh. Nigga, I was just so fucking drunk, nigga. I didn't even know what the fuck
Nick
was
at
going
Night
on, bro.
exclusive.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on, bro. Like that ass, nigga. I'd never do some shit like that, bro. Just that, nigga, I was so fucking drunk, nigga. I just didn't even understand what the fuck was going on, bro. Like, so whatever.
Yeah.
Bro. But,
Nick at
you know,
Night exclusive.
regardless, that's not gonna make anything right, and that's not gonna make my actions right, bro. But I'm just deeply sorry, bro. I never even moved like that, bro. Like, never
Nick at
moved like
Night
that at all, bro.
exclusive.
Like, for real, dog.
I know. There's a lot that happens, but
A whole lot, bro. Like a whole lot, bro. I feel crazy, bro. But in this day, like, what happened already, bro.
Nick at Night exclusive.
I'm just telling you, I'm sorry, bro. Like, thing was
Nick
just
at
too
Night
drunk, bro.
exclusive.
You know what I'm saying? When I got to the house, Shorty, like, all top niggas, they gave me like 5 shots, like, off the door, like, you feel me? So I was out of there, like, wasn't even there with niggas, like, you feel me? We was taking shots past that time. I wasn't even there with niggas, like, bro. I don't even remember
Nick
what we was
at
even
Night
arguing about,
exclusive.
bro. Like, you feel me? Like,
yeah, no, I was already fucked up by the time you got there, so I don't know how much.
it's like, you know, but tell me what,
Nick at Night exclusive.
what hospital she's in.
I just told you, Cedar Medical.
Alright, you ain't got Corn's number, right? You ain't got my security number.
Juan, I do have his number.
Can you call this nigga Corn and tell this nigga, bro, you get a
Nick
chance,
at
bro,
Night
just figure out what you
exclusive.
gotta do to bail me out this shit.
Okay.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm sorry again, bro. Like,
Nick at Night
I
exclusive.
think honestly, I think we're gonna try to, because obviously, like, the longer you're in there, the more hot it's gonna get, because you know it's already on, like, there's no names released
Nick at
yet,
Night
but
exclusive.
the report is already out, you know.
but like,
so
out is what? What you mean out?
it's on some app. You know, Megan's team is on top of this. So,
Yeah, but like, niggas can't know. Niggas
Nick
don't.
at
There's
Night
no way that Megan's
exclusive.
on like the thing.
but what'd you say?
There's no way that Megan's like on the thing.
No. So far, none of that is there. But I mean,
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be one of those. If
Nick at
anything, the
Night
only nigga that's gonna
exclusive.
get this backlash is me. It's not gonna be her.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
But,
I'll let you know.
alright, it is what it is. I regardless if I get out of here today or not, bro, I just want to let y'all know, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I never did that shit if I wasn't that drunk, bro. Like, you feel me?
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
I thought somebody who said.
All right. I'm just playing her video. Now, Nick, shout out to you, but that was a little excessive with the Nick and Night exclusive because it was kind of hard to hear. But I hope you guys were able to hear what Tory Lanez was saying. He was apologizing for that night, okay? He was not apologizing for sleeping with two women. He couldn't be drunk that entire time saying, I was drunk the entire time. I just kept drinking and I slipped and fell into Megan and then I slipped and fell into Kelsey and then I slipped and fell into her again. And then I went out with Meg because I drove over there drunk. And no, he was apologizing for sleeping. He was apologizing for shooting Meg and putting them in that situation, grabbing Kelsey's hair and fighting her. He was apologizing that night. He was not taking account. Well, he was kind of trying to take accountability somewhat, saying that, he's sorry for what he did. But then he stepped back from taking accountability, saying he was drunk. He took 4 shots. He didn't know what was going on. How's Meg? Like, that didn't sound like someone like that Kelsey shot Meg. That didn't sound like a audio where he's like, hey man, like, you good? Like, I can't believe that happened. Like, are you in jail? Like, first of all, if she wasn't a victim and she was the shooter, he would not be calling her to apologize. I tell you that. He would not be calling Kelsey to apologize for shooting another person. He literally was trying to excuse why he shot at her and hit Kelsey, because mind you, Kelsey did say that he grabbed her hair and yanked her back, was fighting her and threatened to shoot both of them because he was drunk, and some people can turn into the devil being drunk. I don't know if you ever been around a person who just turns into a maniac, a drunk maniac, but that's what it sounds like. And I want to speak to Tory Lanez fans, the hashtag I stand with Tory Lanez people. You're trying to be so not with the crowd or whatever crowd you think everyone's taking it. You see everyone, too many people taking Meg's side. I'm going to stand on the opposite side just because, right or wrong, I'm going to stand on that side to be different. You're not being different. You're being an idiot. You're being an idiot because you're not telling yourself the truth of what happened because you refuse to listen to it. Okay. A lot of the Tory Lanez fans are delusional, trying to deny that it was him, even in the call. Trying to deny that it was him. Trying to come for. I even saw one comment where she's like, coming from a legal standpoint, he could have been apologizing about sleeping with him. So he was apologizing for taking 4 shots that night. And things got out of control and that he was super drunk that night. He was apologizing about sleeping with them. Why would he apologize to the shooter? If Kelsey did do that, why would he apologize to the shooter? Why would the shooter be at the hospital checking on her? Even Selena's friend didn't do that. Selena's ex-frenemy friend, was sitting out in the car knowing she did wrong. Kelsey was at the hospital trying to reach out to Meg. Kelsey sent the message saying Tory shot Meg. Okay? Kelsey had another agenda because her husband is an executive at 1501, so she's not going to have Megan's back. And Megan and her was going back and forth beefing over the past 2 years online. And that woman got bullied for so long. She said, well, since I'm the enemy, I'll be the enemy. But I'm not helping out nobody in this situation. And that was her. So Tory, if that wasn't Tory in the audio, what kind of lawyer would allow the jury to hear an audio that was not real? I mean, this can get backed up from the jailhouse. Are you guys that delusional? This is not a TV show. This is not, some like mystery crime solving show. You guys are so deep dive into a TV show or, reality TV show, you're not even looking at reality, okay? There's a process to this. Rockefeller is not paying that amount of money for Megan Thee Stallion. Let's get something straight. Megan Thee Stallion is successful, but she's not Beyonce level of like protection, okay? Her latest albums are not bringing in numbers to that extent for them to say, you know what? We're going to even go into the jailhouse and change up the audio and tell them not to release it. We're going to pay. You think that many people, you're going to go through that many people and keep them quiet over Megan? Okay? The evidence was there. You know what kind of look that would, if somebody just slipped up and talked and said, hey, Rockefeller paid me. No. That's delusional. That's called delusion. Okay? So that's all I have to say. What are you guys' thoughts about this whole process, about hearing the audio? Sorry about the jail audio, being a little extra, because that was definitely extra for sure. And I hope you were able to hear it. But shout out to Nick at Night for releasing that audio. I know some other people probably have audio, but I wanted to give my girl a shout out with that one. But yeah, go ahead and drop your comments. I want to hear, what do you think? Do you still stand with Tory? Do you think, if you did stand with Tory, do you feel like you owe Megan an apology? And if not, I want to hear why. I really want to hear why, because I want to see the delusion below in my comment section. Okay. And even if you were somebody who did believe Tory at one point, but then, later realized that you were wrong, that I would love to hear your intake about that as well, and why you didn't believe Megan at first. I mean, we all said that, she wasn't fully disclosing everything that happened. But at the end of the day, the girl was injured. She got injured by ricochet. Shots were fired, okay, because they got captured on camera, okay. There's time, there's dates, there's evidence, there's video surveillance. You just would have to be delusional at this point. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. And I'll join you in the comment section. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.